Tucked away in the wilds of Connecticut, you'll find this building right here in East Haddam, the Palmer Warner Home. It was built as a sanctuary for the LGBTQ+ community and an oasis made by Frederic Palmer and Howard Metzger over the course of decades, and stands now with a mission that's been preserved and carries on to this day.
He loved him deeply and just never really wanted to change how things were in the house.
It's almost a spitting image of the way things were all those years ago.
They're on the mantle, they're, just spread all around.
As the United States re-elected Franklin D. Roosevelt as president in 1936, architect Frederic Palmer and his mother bought this home, with the sole purpose to eventually transform it into a museum for Connecticut.
This is Frederic on the beach in his long pants.
But according to Lynette Fisher, site admin for the Palmer Warner House, it soon became so much more once friends introduced Palmer to Howard Metzger, and the two fell in love.
They hit it off. They had many things in common. One of them was gardening, another was cars. Because their car enthusiasm, every time they got a new car, they would just cut a new bay in. And so it disrupted the integrity of the barn.
The relationship would continue to develop over the years, but you wouldn't have seen it from the outside. The two were rather private people, according to Fisher. Metzger moved into the home after Palmer's mother passed away, and the two would have to get creative when Howard was off with the Merchant Marines.
Their only way of communication was through phone calls when he was on leave or letters, and so there had to be some coded language.
And whether it was the product of time or just location, the two wanted to create a community for people like them.
In the in-between time, it was a spare bedroom where guests from out of town were invited to stay for as long as they wanted.
The two opened up their East Haddam home where LGBTQ+ people could come and take advantage of the private landscape the area had to offer.
We have diaries and writings in his diary where people have stayed for 6 months.
Do you feel like the story at this house should be more well known at this point?
When you're so far away from cities and places where you can find a resource and a network, it becomes so much more important to create a bigger network in a rural community.
That sanctuary lives on as a home to elevate local voices who may not always be heard and highlight the communication between other LGBTQ+ couples in the new Letters Through Unity exhibit, just like Metzger and Palmer did all those years ago.
We find ways to communicate even when sometimes it's difficult. This is an important story to be told. I think this is a place where people can come and be reflective and celebratory and feel safe.
We'll have the information on how you can contribute to the exhibit on our website, fox61.com. In East Haddam, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.